Every human has experienced this feeling. From our greatest heroes to our worst enemies, no one can escape it. This unseen force can restrict us from accomplishing even the simplest of tasks. What is this? Fear, as defined by the Webster Dictionary, is an unpleasant, often strong emotion caused by the anticipation or awareness of danger. Or, as I like to phrase it, it's that feeling you get when your mother screams your name from across the house. Fear is an evolutionary response that has allowed us to survive throughout the years. Could you imagine freely walking into the warm embrace of a hungry tiger? Yeah, neither could I. And those who could, well, let's just say they're not with us anymore. Let us examine a fundamental fear, the unknown. Now, as is good practice, it is safer to fear the unknown than to trust it. An example being darkness. We do not fear darkness because the darkness is darkness itself. Instead, we fear what could potentially be lying within it. See, darkness is the absence of light, which in turn is the absence of information. This is what causes fear, the unknown. This type of thinking, fearing what we do not understand, has remained with us over the years. As society changes, human nature remains constant. We still fear what we don't understand. An example being death. I mean, I'm sure scared of it. I'm sure everyone else is too. Like, who really knows what happens after it? Or, I mean, if any of you actually know, it'd be nice if you could tell me. So, in the past, things were simpler. You know, because everything was out there just trying to kill you. But now, we've lived in civilized life for so long that some of our fears have become a little irrational and unnecessary. So, in order to overcome this, we need to be educated and informed, but we need to identify these underlying causes as well. So, what are these causes? Two of which are negativity bias and the Dunning-Kruger effect. Negativity bias explains how negative elements in a person's life will be weighed more heavily than positive or neutral elements of the same magnitude. For example, a person can receive hundreds of compliments, but one single insult will have a bigger impact on them than these 100 compliments could have ever had. We've all fallen for this. Personally, I used to be absolutely terrified of airplanes. I always thought that if I were to get on one of these things, my life would end right there. That thing was going down, and I was going down with it. So, why was I so afraid of airplanes? Well, I sat down one day, and I decided to watch the news, as all young children should. I saw on the news that an airplane had crashed and claimed the lives of everyone on board. This one event made me absolutely terrified of air travel. And as a young child whose mind is easily swayed, there was nothing I could do about it. However, as I grew and as I matured, I was able to go on my first airplane, then my second, then my third, then my fourth. I was able to realize that, hey, maybe this isn't so bad at all, or maybe I'm not going to die today. And I came to realize that this fear was completely foolish and irrational. I looked more into the statistics, and I realized that I was actually way safer on an airplane than I was in a car, even though I had no problem sitting in my mom's car while she hit triple digits on the highway. Thank you all. So, it took multiple positive experiences in order to eradicate my one negative experience. However, if we look at a topic such as nuclear energy, in which most people have certain negative thoughts about, and not very people know much about it or can gain experience with it. People have the preconceived notion that anything to do with nuclear is dangerous and therefore bad. Certain things come to mind when I say the word nuclear. You might think of Chernobyl, Fukushima, nuclear war, death, and maybe just more death. And this is not a bad idea in itself, as everyone here, including myself, is incredibly guilty of it. We cannot possibly hope to know everything. Therefore, it is safer for our mind to make generalizations about the rest of reality in order to organize our knowledge. And this builds straight into the Dunning-Kruger effect. So, as you can see, we have this graph. It's measuring competence versus confidence. Now, let's take a look at this portion in the graph at the very top, on the left side, and it's called Mount Ignorance. So, I'm sure everyone knows ignorant people in their life, so this graph shows that our confidence is skyrocketing. However, our competence is not very high. And this is where most of us lie outside of our respective areas of expertise, as none of us can really hope to know everything. But as we increase in our competence, we can see that our confidence gradually decreases. This is the valley of realization, or as Aristotle puts it, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. We fear what we don't understand. So, when we realize that we don't understand as much as we previously thought, fear starts to set in. Such as during the first week of AP Chemistry, I really thought that I could get away with not really knowing much. However, I was mistaken. On the bright side, it motivated me in order to take time to relearn and to expand my knowledge, which builds into the slope of enlightenment. As you can see, we are increasing our competence, but our competence is also increasing. Now, this will build all the way up till we get to the top where we become an expert. So you can actually see it takes a substantial amount of experience in order to reach this point. Now, coming back to nuclear energy. I'm sure many of you are aware of the events that transpired at both Chernobyl and Fukushima. Many people use this as a basis of evidence against the use of nuclear energy. However, if we do look closer, we look at the detail, we can see that both of these power plants were mismanaged and completely preventable. So, whether it be nuclear energy, airplanes, medicine, or the NSA, we all need to be informed before running naked through the forest. Now, let me paint a picture of it in your head. Not of the previous example, but you're in a dark room, and across from you is a locked chest. You can walk over to this chest. Use your knowledge and understanding as the key to unlock it, revealing the treasures. Or you can put a blindfold on, stay blind, and allow your fear of the unknown to take control. The choice is yours. Thank you.